Hey all, Joe here, and here I'm to go over the top 4 mistakes of low-level players in Pokken Tournament. Now these are the things I see very often online, and have had a few problems with myself during the first few weeks of the game's release. These mistakes can be quite easily fixed, but must be first seen in order to be fixed. With all that said though, let's get this going. So the first big mistake that I see way too often is people just out of the blue from far away using their burst attack when the enemy can easily shield it. Now this is an awful habit to get into with your burst attack, and it has a lot of negative effects. Firstly, this is just a huge waste of a burst. You get rid of all the pressure that your burst brings, and you can no longer use your burst to get out of strings or punish a foe greatly. That's just a big problem. Also, while doing this, you waste a lot of time in your burst mode. This makes so that all the positive effects of your burst mode, such as more damage and not being able to hit by projectiles, last a lot less time and have a lot less effect, and just those make you worse overall. And finally, wasting a burst from far away for no reason may put you into a lot of end lag. Some bursts, when missed, give the enemy a chance to strike quite easily, and you never really want to do this. It's a lot better to just save this thing for a prime time to attack instead of just throwing it out willy-nilly. Next, a big mistake I see is that people always dodge right to left or backwards or shield, and they never use CADC, and CADC is of course CounterAttack dash cancel. It's the thing that the tutorial taught you, where you press counter, absorb an attack or don't, and then jump a direction. This thing is paramount to do well in Pokken, and it also makes so you can get through projectiles or just get around attacks. Now the thing is, I almost never see this online. I don't really know why either. I mean, it's kinda hard to pull off, but just spend 10 to 15 minutes in free training and you'll learn it fast enough. As a side note, you can also use this even when the enemy doesn't attack you, so yeah, just use this move. Now, another very important thing I see a lot of people mess up on is not effectively using their supports. Now, this is an easy thing to mess up on, but you want to fix it if possible. Often people will just send out these guys whenever they come out, the support attacks or defends or whatever, and then it goes away with no really useful effect. Now, how to fix this is to simply think, how would my support help me in this situation? For example, let's say you're a Machamp player. You're in the field phase and your Frogadier is up. What you may want to do is wait until the duel phase, and then from there, use it for a nice safe approach. If you happen to otherwise just use your Frogadier for no reason in the field phase, then it'll probably accomplish nothing and it was a real waste of your support, and you're going to have to wait those 20 seconds to get it back again. In general, just try to think of good times to use these things and don't take them for granted. Finally, the biggest mistake and the most simple one is people forgetting to grab or counterattack in a close match and just going for attacks over and over again. Now this may sound a bit silly, but it happens a ton. When you are at 1 HP and the enemy's at 1 HP, most often you just want to hit them one time and then they'll die, so you just hope that you get the first hit, you just keep attacking. But often this really isn't the right choice. Instead, you could be countering the enemy's hit and then running up and doing the damage yourself with your counter. Or you could just run up and grab them as the enemy expects you to attack and they shield. Now of course this always applies, but you really have to remember this in the most stressful of situations. Be calm, be careful, and use your rock, paper, scissors that they've taught you in the tutorial. You gotta remember, there isn't really a reason to force you into using rock every single time or attack every single time when you always have all these options. And there you go. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Now these are just some really simple mistakes, but I found myself and others falling into these categories a lot. Hopefully I can help you recognize what you found yourself doing wrong, and maybe you found a way to fix it. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll be seeing you all next time.